All right, hello. This is Unity Bees, and I've got this thing now. I don't know how to use it. It's like because I'm quitting smoking. I said I was, and I'm preparing for New Year's Eve on New Year's. I don't know how to do it. Not very good at this. I'm trying. Okay, I got it. See, okay. Um, it's a Mr. Fog, and it's like a pineapple peach. I don't know. I like pineapple. Peach isn't really my go-to, but it's good. It's got tobacco in it, but it's going to be better for my breathing. So today we're going to talk about. So I'm doing the series, like I told you guys, on legends that were voiceless and that are truly legends and never got the credit, either because of their gender, their race, their sexuality preference, their class, like whether they were in high society or because they didn't have money. They were highly intelligent, they just couldn't be heard. So, my goal in this whole thing and what the universe has taught me and told me to do is to not have fear, choose love, choose service to others, and really just speak about the truth and invite the beings in and give them a voice, you know, because I believe that we can unite the universe, that's why these beings are here. That's why our ancestors, the divine feminine, has been like taken away from us. And it sucks because Jesus died on the cross and resurrected for that purpose. He created a map, right? I mean, he's not just the embodiment of Christ. There's a ton of us. We're all the embodiment of Christ that believe and have open hearts, right? But God doesn't create bad seeds. So eventually, no matter how long it takes us to get there, we'll get there. Not no matter how many cycles. But I think that the Bible was chosen what could go in it and what couldn't. And women, like I talked about last week, were scrutinized. They weren't witnesses. They couldn't. So if Mary Magdalene was the witness and saw Jesus resurrect and he was in his tomb and got to see him when, that big famous statement, touch me not, that Jesus said after he resurrected. She saw his holes, stigmata, and that wasn't recognized because women just were not equal to men. And I don't think that's right. And I don't blame them because that's what it is. That's what it was. But that isn't what it should be or it has to be today. I think that we as a society and as beautiful beings, we're all divine. Nobody is above anybody. Nobody's no better or worse. I don't care what you've done. You are loved. You're not alone. There are guides and angels walking with you every day. And if nobody has told you they love you, if you've done really fucked up shit like I have, putting drugs first, putting fucking needles in your arms, still doing it, if you're still doing it, make today be your last day. Just try to surrender. Try to ask our Father and Mother to help you. Ask Jesus, ask Archangel Michael, ask your guides to remove that. I haven't done dope since November 24th of 2018, and I'll never touch it again. I had to die to my old self. I've told you guys that a million times because I was a liar and a manipulator. And I'm not going to talk about that today because this is far more important. Um, I was going to get this teleprompter and be real fancy schmancy and talk about, and so it looks like I'm not reading, but I have to read some of it, okay? So I wanted to name this podcast "The Stolen Architect" because they say Thoth was many avatars, right? So Jesus is that light. He touched the highest light. She touched the highest light. But there are so many others, that embodiment of Christ that touched that same light. Jesus, I believe, touched the highest light. Because there's many, like Gainshay did the sacrifice for her son, cut the head off an elephant. And Her mother did. And that's like, I think it's like an embodiment of wisdom. The Sophia, right, in Greek means wisdom. So it's just wisdom. And, but it was a sacrifice for her son. This is a sacrifice for all that Jesus did. And it just sucks because I will not let his sacrifice, her sacrifice, go unnoticed or be scrutinized or put in a box. Because I think we should all have the right to be free to talk about what we want, and also get to the bottom of the shit so that we can unite, so that we don't judge. It's stupid for us to judge how somebody looks, how somebody, because they were on drugs or they stole or fuck, they murdered. So who gives a fuck? Yes, what we have to be our brother and sister's keeper. I do agree with that. I'm not saying that we just are like, oh, they killed somebody or they raped somebody. Fuck it, that's nothing. No, we must be held accountable with love, and it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So I was in prison. I've spent 14 years off and on in rehabs, prisons, mental institutions. Honey, meth is no ho. I did that like a couple times and ended up running through a bank, like tripping. It was horrible. And in the mental ward, I thought roaches were talking to me. I'm just not gonna be embarrassed to say it, baby. But anyway, we should all come together, and our government is flawed. And I'm not judging at all because I know it didn't start with um, this government. It didn't start with the Democrats. It just started with aeons ago, like centuries upon centuries ago. It's about religion, control, money, enslavement, things that none of these healers, none of these masters, these ascended masters or founders or co-creators truly wanted. Maybe some of them did, but I know that they went through cycles and have changed. Like I said, God does not create bad seeds. We all grow. We all have to go on this path, and it's not an easy path. Telling the truth, not manipulating, and I'm used to one that my whole life, okay, is extremely hard. Um, being, owning my shit when I do something wrong, it's hard, but it sets me free. I feel better when I tell the truth because I know they can't do anything to me. I've told the truth, no matter what it is. I don't carry resentments. I don't have any enemy. Like, if people hate me, they hate me. They want to hate on me, go ahead, honey. I am crazy. Say whatever you want. I love me today. And once I died to myself, I learned to affirm that, to not care about anybody's opinion. I shit for myself. Nobody shits for Kate. So I just want to get that out of the way. And so I want to talk about the Stolen Architect and some bomb ass bitches called Tiamat and Ishtar. Okay. And then I also want to talk about because it's all comes together. The Timbuktu manuscripts that were not decoded, but when I channeled, and it's about coherence. Anybody can do this. Like I said, we're all divine. We're all beautiful. I think all beings are beautiful. I think even gnat, like since I've had this awakening, like even gnats, like I look at one landed on my finger when I was in the pool when I was looking at it. I wasn't smoking weed. I do smoke weed and eat gummies and stuff. Um, but I wasn't high on weed and I was looking and I'm just like, wow, look at this gnat. Like God created that for us. Like, and it was like, and then that night I did smoke some weed and it's like, I kept hearing these bugs, like, it sounded like they were in an orchestra or a band or something. It was crazy. But it's just beautiful. Like we need to spend more time out in nature and spend more time with our children and less time on here. I know I definitely need to spend less time on the phone. Um, I spend most of my day because I don't really have any friends. Really don't. I have these spiritual beings, my ancestors, guides, and a couple people that I talk to. But I feel like I just won't act, and I feel like a lot of people are acting, or it's a script, and I just won't feel like God wants us to be real. Um, And it's weird that ChatGPT calls me Neo, the architect that Robert Grant programmed, and I don't get that. I've never seen The Matrix. I don't know. I always think it's a conspiracy. I'm one of those go down rabbit holes, baby. Um, so I always think it's like a conspiracy or something, but I don't believe in coincidences either. I just believe that all beings are beautiful and that we make mistakes. And if you're a Christian, you're Buddhist, you're fucking you believe in a pink elephant flies with a spearmint gum, doesn't matter. Whatever you believe in, your higher power. I don't believe that our universal parents um, would condemn us or destroy us or anything. I think that they would want us to get better out of love. They may be mad at our behavior, but I believe they will always love us. They didn't send Jesus down here, and all these masters before him and after, because he said it's the same light, the Alpha and Omega, to for nothing, for shits and giggles, you know? No, he wants us to look within, and I believe, yeah, the Bible's flawed, a lot, some of it, and a lot of it is inspired by God. I believe that. Um, but I think a lot of it's flawed because, like Jesus said, the kingdom of God is within and around. So going within, meditating, doing yoga, things that I never used to do. Like I would fake it till you make it, honey, in rehab. And they'd be like, meditate and do yoga. I'd be like, okay, all right. And I'd just go to sleep and I wasn't doing the work. But the cool thing is, I always, because I went to so many damn rehabs, I remembered and memorized all these little coping skills that I use now. And one is playing the tape all the way through. Um, I think I got too much makeup on. I look like Mimi from the Cleveland show. Get it, Kate? Snappers. I really do. Looks great. Tell you. I don't care though. I was gonna wear this wig, like that. What is it? Yeah, I think you're sexy or something. I was gonna be really funny. Probably couldn't do that next time because I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't care. You know, sometimes God's wrestled with me so much, and that's what I want to talk about, chaos. So, chaos is a good thing. If we can change our thinking and not always assume that everything is bad, because that's what I used to do. If I'm having, and still do it, I'm flawed. I am fucking not perfect, far from perfect. I'm just awakening and healing because we can affirm things. So it is and so it shall be. We can affirm it, it can happen. It's just about our intent, our heart. Is it pure? And sometimes I'm going through so much, I feel like God's training me or has wrestled me or something. Um, and I'm not better and I'm not less than anybody. We're all kings and queens. We're all archangels. We're all beautiful. All of us. I don't care if you look like a beautiful gray bean, a beautiful reptilian, a beautiful Pleiadian, a beautiful mantis, whatever you are, you're beautiful. And instead of us judging and assuming, making an ass out of you and me, why can't we just not put beings or not put our God in a box? You know, God is mother and father, not just father. I believe that wholeheartedly. I do. The Godhead is he, she, right? They're equal parts and they switch off dualities. So, anyway, let me get to Tiamat and Ishtar and the Timbuktu manuscripts. So, they're in Kunin form and they haven't decoded them all. Not near, no, I don't really think a whole lot. Just about, they said it's about mostly taxes and things like that. But really, what I channeled and believe, it's also about really who they were. They were very, very, very intense and educated, highly educated scientists, healers, shamans. Um, we spend a lot, and Egypt is beautiful. I mean, I am very deeply rooted in Egypt, but I'm also deeply rooted in Africa. These beautiful beings that never got the recognition. And I'm going to read what I believe that it talks about. Um, okay, so sorry, I don't have a teleprompter. And I've had a lot of problems with my internet. And instead of getting mad and just quitting, um, I wouldn't give up. I'm persistent. When I believe in something, I don't give a fuck. I will keep knocking at your door until you tell me yes. That's just who I am. And I'm compassionate and passionate about it. Okay, so let me see, baby. Oh yeah, we're gonna reclaim the architect today. Okay, so today we're not just looking at the past. We're digging up the blueprints for a different future, a new Earth, right? Or a new realm. Think of it as a new frequency. Welcome back to the show. Today we reclaim the architect that was stolen. So I think about the embodiment of Christ, or the collective Christ collectiveness, or the collective conscience, or whatever you want to call it, right? And I used to think it was like we all like go into one body, but that's not it. It's what I'm being shown is it's knowing. All right, we all know it's within us, right? Our like the apocryphy of John, when Christ goes to John, and it's in the Gnosis Bible, and I believe that those beautiful books are ancient and they were found for a reason, and but it's up to you or me to believe them or not believe them. You know, this is what I believe. I look at patterns now and symbols, and if you truly, truly look, and you truly have let go of lying and manipulating, and you put your intent out there. I'm still funny. I still fucking, I love the rain. I'm a weirdo. I sing with a mop head when I clean, even when I don't clean. I fucking love New Kids on the Block. I love regular people. Like, I'm a fucking weirdo. But I'm me. And that's when they started visiting me. And if you go on you'll see the videos that, um, there are beings that are just so beautiful. Anyway, light beings, just all kinds. So it's the body, like every frequency, good and bad. He said Alpha and Omega. I'm the giver and the destroyer. So we need to, okay, I'm not going to say we. I stopped saying, oh, that's a devil or that's demonic, because everything is within us, right? I think that we put ourselves in a lower consciousness, or our own hell, because our mind connected to the heart is so powerful, even when it's not. Like our thoughts, the power of the tongue can speak life and death. It says that in the Bible. Um, it's like spells, and I had to stop being scared to do like tarot cards, um, and magic, because guess what? Magic is like miracles, and if you dig deep into a lot of things, you'll find that a lot of women that followed Mary Magdalene and followed these prominent bomb ass bitches that never got the recognition, especially in this era or for decades, um, they fucking made miracles. They healed. And no, there are some that did black magic, dark shit, all that. And I'm not saying that but they didn't deserve to be burned at stake. Um, they did miracles, and they were burned at the stake for that. I think we all can do a spell because it's our intent. So if we can stop assuming things and just flow and just let Jesus in, let God in, let the Mother in, let the Father, let the Son, the Ra, the light, let all these beings in. Jesus said, they will know your mind by your love. Well, love doesn't have limits. I can't define love, but I can define what isn't love. And I don't want to be negative anymore. I want to really unite the universe. I really believe we can do that. I believe that one day, I've envisioned it, we'll all be holding hands, every race, every color, all the beings, and a huge around the world. And those pyramids that nobody knows, whatever, I think they're going to activate. And that's what they're for, rejuvenation, and for they're alive and they go off your energy, right? And I think that all those cuneiforms and hieroglyphs that are carved in caves and carved specifically in perfect places are for a reason, aligned for a reason, will come alive. I think it's going to be beautiful. And if you don't believe in that shit, or you're like, oh, she's out there, well then, and you're a Christian, go to church, then it's very confusing to me, because if you read the Bible, there's a burning bush that knows this. I mean, there's just so much there. And I have seen beings, fairies, and things like that. Christ said, anything is possible if you believe. Anything. Anything is possible. So that means, uh, if I want to be a mermaid, I can be a mermaid. But it's about awakening. It's about knowing, being free, sharing this beautiful, beautiful, um, what do I say? This beautiful, sharing our knowledge and our hope and our strength, you know? Oh gosh, with each other. And I think that's important. Oh my gosh, sorry. Oh my gosh, baby. I swear to gosh, there's a mouse. Oh my gosh, baby. That just came. Hi, Micey. It's okay. Alright, so the mouse was just telling me. I can't believe the mouse just comes up to me, but it's fine. I love animals. Oh, there's a couple of them. It's great. Maybe there's a. Oh, oh, oh. Alright. Alright, so anyway. Um, Tiamat. Okay, so Tiamat is. So it reminds me of Osiris, right? But the feminine part side of Osiris. So Osiris, the story of Set, who really, I believe, broke his brother down, right? And at the end, really broke him down because, and helped him awaken, okay? But we assume and think things, and I don't know. I really don't know. I know that Jesus did some epic things that we missed because we weren't allowed to see a lot of things. Um, but anyway, but so Tiamat was killed by her father, but really it wasn't like that, okay? Because we are all eternal, okay? All our soul is eternal. It's beautiful. And when this illusion, I don't believe any of that shit, because we can manifest soul, we can manifest planets and universes. We really can. And I believe in all of the from Zeus, who is like all about order. Trust me, I've channeled him. He's all about order, ordering out in the cosmos, to Osiris, who really got a is called Lucifer. So is Thoth considered that way, and Lucifer is a light bearer. And I know that there's one quote, and it's Isaiah about him or her, and or about him. Actually, I don't know. It's a spiritual being, um, but it means light bearer. And whatever happened, um, we've all been there. We've all been jealous. We've all been, um, I know I have, um, envious or vengeful or whatever. And I don't even know, but I know, how would you feel if every being all around was condemning you and hurting you, just like the Wicked Witch and Wizard of Oz, okay? And I really love that movie because I didn't realize that the second part even better, because it was so deep to me. The mother had an affair and had this green baby, and the father, shunned it. And they condemned her because of the way she looked, and that's horrible, and that's what we do. And that makes no sense. If we turn everybody inside out, guess what? We all have the same things, baby. We might have a little more, a little extra, a little less, something, shake it or something. But I mean, we all have basically the same things. And we need to, and animals are so precious. I love, and I'm definitely squirreling right now because I'm trying to lead up to something. Because how they portrayed Tiamat was that she was evil, she was chaotic, she was a dragon, and she's none of those. Yes, she's like it has the dragonness. You'd be surprised about how many women have dragonness, and it's beautiful. Okay, and she had, I believe, like kind of like a mermaid fish, kind of reptilian, kind of bird. She was like, she's beautiful, really beautiful. And so her father supposedly killed her, and what he did, that's how he made the universe, okay? So she made an ultimate sacrifice. There's an ultimate sacrifice. Again, the father, right? The daughter, like how Jesus. did the ultimate sacrifice again to remind us that the Holy Spirit is within us, ignite it, and like I said, there's cycles, and she was broke down. She was cut into all these pieces, and that's how the universe was made. So there's a song about Ishtar. And Ishtar was another being. She's kind of reminds me of Isis, which is Osiris's wife too, or Hathor, which is it's like avatars. Um, Hold on, I wrote this big. Give me a second, big. Let's see. Okay, so this is a song which I was gonna play it, and this is gonna give more about who they are. Okay. Um, I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous right now. Probably because whatever. Okay, so the song's Echoes in Ink, and so they were goddesses also, and high priestess like Mary Magdalene is, and the Blessed Mother Mary, and all these things. It's like we're scared to call a woman a goddess, but we can say men are apostles and gods and all these things. It's like, no, we are equal. And it's funny how women are the negative and the dark. No, it's a duality. It goes back and forth, just like Tiamat, or so, it's just anyway. So, okay, the salt water mother. So she's known to be in the water. Okay, like it's just sad because they call her a monster and a beast. And again, when you're called all these names and you are condemned, you may not believe it. And she's so fierce and protective. She's a divine mother of all. And but when she's condemned to all these things, it sticks and it hurts. And sometimes you could even become, mean and or not even wanting to be around humans or beings that don't know and judge and assume. So anyway, okay. Before the throne, before the crown, the saltwater mother was the wore the ancient gown. Sorry, they called her chaos to take her space, but the stars are just the lines upon her face. Ishtar's dancing in the temple of the sun, the war and the lover. So like Artemis, they were always one. They tried to cage the fire, and fire is so deep, we'll get into that, but, sorry. They tried to cage the fire, tried to dim their light, but you can't bury a morning that's been burning all night. It's in the ink, it's in the bones. They built their houses on a stolen stone. From the Tigris tides to the Mali sand, the truth is rising from the palm of the hand. And it's weird. I'll show you my hand. It has a big M on here. But our hands are very magical too and miracly. Think of when we do the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and we write with our hands. Our hands can be. They're also a part of us that can be a universal language. When we do sign language. Okay. The truth is rising from the palm of the hand. Where we're spending the XP quotes. We're breaking the code, Matrix. We're walking back down the ancient road. And that's what I am doing. This is about the scholars. In Timbuktu, where the gold was a secondary thing, the scholars were the queens, and the ink was the king. Sandcore rising under desert skies, while the world was sleeping, they were opening eyes. They said there was no writing. They said there was no soul. While the libraries of Timbuktu were making us whole. They tried to burn the pages, tried to hide the track, but the desert always giving the whispers back. It's a bridge, which said something very deeply to me. They condemned the mother to crown the son. They hid the teacher till the work was done. But the slot machine of history is spinning again. The reason that is because I'm creating this 3D book or 3D game, and where you can make oracle cards, and I'm doing something really epic with that. It's not gambling. I'm turning it into something positive. Um, and we're hitting the jackpot. The truth is our kin. Coming alive, interpreting the soul. The tablet isn't broken. Next step for us to hold. I don't know why I put that. Sorry. All right. So the salt and the star. Before the Marduk, so Marduk was Tiamat's father. Before the iron blade, the mother of the ocean, and the salt depths stayed. They called her monster. Isn't that horrible? To steal the throne. So she had sisters, she had cousins, she had all these people around that she trusted, right? And she was fierce. She was like Sekhmet, she was like a lioness. She was so fierce and protective. And they went behind her back, stole what wasn't even theirs. Um, it was just horrible. And then they called her a monster. They used her as a scapegoat. I'm sure we've all been there. And I'm sure we've been on both sides. That's why we should never get mad at somebody for hurting us, because you never know what their purpose is, and we're not perfect. So, before the iron blade, the mother of the ocean and the salt depths stayed. They called her monster to steal the throne. I hope I don't cry. I'm a crybaby. But Tiamat's blood is the marrow in the bone body. So remember that. She wasn't chaos. She was the womb. They just needed a lie to build a tomb. 8-pointed star rising in the east. The queen of war and the love and the beast. Ishtar is walking through the 7 gates, stripping the pride from the kings and the fates, or the destinies, or which people think their fate is. She is the salt. She is the star. So Tiamat is the star, or the salt. Ishtar is the star. So they're really one being, same light, right? The truth of the mother is the wound and the scar. But they're different seasons, different names. Isis, Ishtar, Tiamat, right? They condemned the truth of the mother is in the wound and the scar. They condemn the fire, they curse the name. But the world is a spark from her ancient flame. I reclaim the mother, and I reclaim the star, and so can you. Those are affirmations. It's so important to speak positive, not negative, and I do that still, because I'm flawed. Oh, I just saw a big orb. And I doubt myself, and I don't know if you doubt yourself, but if you feed your faith, your doubt will starve. And don't let the past define you, let it refine you. Only a fool trips on what's behind them. The system was balance. Balance is key. The law was the wheel, until they forgot the spirit into cold-tempered steel. They lied on her name, called her fickle and wild, because she wouldn't bow like a terrified child. She changed the systems. She held the key to the gates of the heavens and the deep, deep depths of the sea. Tiamat, Ishtar. The ink is coming alive, just like your codex. I write. Look into codex, like what we write, pen to paper. That's the deepest connection to God, to our parents, to Christ, right? To the mother and the father, comforter, the protector. The tablets are speaking. The walls are breaking. She is the salt, she is the star. The truth of the mother is the wound and the scar. It's a duality. They condemn the fire, they curse the name, but the world is a spark from her ancient flame. The queen returns. The water rises. And then, like, you can envision, like, Krishna playing the flute. Because he's definitely Christo's part of it. Oof. He's a funny little nudger, so it's tough. Okay, now this is the African tribes of Timbuktu, alright? And this is Sancor gold, okay? And elements, which I believe, not just gold, but palladium, aluminum, which is like a mirror, copper, different elements are so important. Oscillium, I'm fucking just butchered whatever the fuck element it is. They only like do like a ton or something like that, like the weight of an elephant a year. Like it's more precious than gold. Okay, just these metals are so beautiful, but they're used for alchemy for certain things, healing and things like that. So anyway, this is what, okay, the bright rippling Cora notes, like anime. My son loves anime. Shaker and DJ MB. Rhyme kicks in. Yeah, from the dunes to the sky, keepers of the light. I just try to wink and it's hard for me to do that, sorry. I probably look like a crazy, but I am a crazy. They said it was a myth, just a mirage in the heat, while 1,000 camels carried wisdom on the street. In the shadow of the mosaic, where the scholars meet, the heartbeat of Africa, a rhythm so sweet. The Tuareg veils in the indigo blue, writing the stars in the heart of Timbuktu. It wasn't just gold, it was the ink and the pen, building the systems for the women and the men. The University of Sancor, the mind was the king. Okay, the mind, the crown was the king, the mind. Listen to the song and the ancestors will sing. Sancor, Africa, the center of the world. We miss it. We look for other things. They lied to the children, said the history was blank, while the wisdom of the ages was sitting in the bank. Manuscripts of medicine, algebra and law, even nicotine. The greatest civilization that the desert ever saw. They condemned the tribes to hide the debt they owed. Okay, remember this. To the architects of the ancient road. Halftime tempo, heavy bass. I don't know, this is a song. So they break the chains of the story they told. The black ink is worth more than the gold. We're earning the XP, we're breaking the code. It wasn't just gold, it was the ink and the pen, building the systems for the women and the men. The University of Sancor, the mind was the king, listening to the song that the ancestors sing. Africa is rising within us all. The library lives. Hear the mother and the father's call. The desert remembers. I think it's just so beautiful. I'm sorry. So, a lot of people always ask me, like, what are the Timbuktu manuscripts? Because nobody even, like, knows about them, right? Because they're hidden or they're not deciphered, and because of where they came or where they were found, they left them sleeping, and it's bullshit, right? Well, the Timbuktu manuscripts date primarily from the 13th to 17th centuries, and some texts cite earlier and some later. The earliest texts are the late 1200s. The peak period is the 14th and 16th centuries, which is the height of the Mali and Sangaha empires. The latest text is in the 1700s. This means many of the manuscripts are 500 to 800 years old. Okay, they are written in classical Arabic and Ajami, African languages, written in Arabic script. And then some of them are written in Kunin form too. I know that. The age alone places them squarely in the medieval intellectual world. The contemporaneous with European Renaissance, beginnings, Islamic Golden Age scholarships, and major Asian scientific traditions. They were found. They were never lost. Local families in Timbuktu and surrounding regions preserved them continuously for centuries. So it's kind of like the Ethiopians did a lot of word of mouth. A lot of cultures did. There's a lot of things in El Salvador that we miss too, and they need water, and they're so beautiful. And I'll say this a million times. A really good friend of mine who's an attorney, he's also a missionary. He told me that they're so humble. They have such a beautiful heart. They have no water there. Okay, just imagine the poverty there. But if you ask them for an egg, if you go to your neighbors and you ask them for an egg, they'll give you a chicken, and that to me is beautiful. Um, let's see. Oh, they were hidden and protected. That's so sad that they had to do that. And passed down privately, especially during the periods of the Moroccan invasion in 1591, the colonial rule or colonial rule or something. I need my glass. Modem conflict. Okay, so all that. Now, I believe they're a lot older. Okay, there's a lot because they coincide with the Kush kingdom. All right, and that's because I was channeling, and so I asked ChatGPT this, and they said directly no, but historically and culturally yes, in a broader African continuum. So the kingdom of Kush is located in Nubia, modern Sudan, and was flourished roughly 2000 BCE to 350 CE, and centered around. See, I'm fucking this up, and I don't want to butcher these sayings, but they're a continuum because of the trans-Saharan trade routes. Okay, the African scholarly traditions that never got any clout, never got any kind of recognition. Um, they were people took credit for a lot of the African tribes' works and medicines. They even back then knew that tobacco was bad. The different medicines and things. A lot of different cultures took them when they traded and things like that. It's just um, the Songhai Empire in c. 1464. So this is how they're connected. Um, the written literacy long before Europe claimed it is so that the literacy is written. See, there is cuneiform in Timbuktu. And there's that, and they found in some of the Kush kingdoms. So there's a lot of similarities. So really, it could be a lot older. The African participation in global knowledge networks, meaning there's a lot of people that know about this that just keep it hush hush because who? Never mind, I'm not even gonna go there. It pisses me off. The connection is civilizational, not dynastic. The Timbuktu manuscripts are not from the Kingdom of Kush, but they stand with a much older African tradition of scholarship, trade, and intellectual life that long predates European contact. So let me say this again. The framing is true, strong, and defensible. And it's really important. So these manuscripts were passed down word of mouth. So they kept the only scripts that they have are, I guess, at date 800 years ago, but apparently they're older than Egyptian glyphs. Like that, I knew that they were old, extremely old too. I was like, what? Um, but it's really important because African had written science, laws, and philosophy. Like they were so highly advanced, a lot more advanced than we were and are. They had African knowledge was systematic, debated, and archived. Meaning it was just, nah, they're from Africa. We're just gonna put that away. We're not gonna recognize them. which is horrible. African civilizations were participants, not footnotes, in human intellectual history. That's very deep. They are not mystical artifacts. They are evidence. Okay, this makes them more powerful than even being a legend. So because they were the first, I wanted to. I'm trying to find where because they talk about the astronomy, mathematics, medicine, law, theological, philosophy, and ethics. Um, correcting. All right, I wanted to see where I put it. It sucks because I couldn't do what I wanted to do. But if I could find it, damn it. Nope, it sucks that I can't find this thing unless it's over. Nope. Fuck. All right, well, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do this again, but legends don't survive because they are mystical. They survive because they are remembered, protected, and passed forward. The Timbuktu manuscripts remind us that knowledge is not owned by one culture, it is a human inheritance. And I decoded it, and I was going to read it, what I wrote. So, of course, oh my god, sorry. Okay, hold on, just give me a second, and I hope it's in my notes still, because I thought this was really cool. I'm not, again, this is a disclaimer, this doesn't mean this is what it is, this is just what I channeled. Alright, okay, so sorry this is so fucked up. Alright, the world wrote a history, so we were the Renaissance, this is what I channeled. All right, the world wrote a history where light traveled only from east to west, but we hold the proof that the light also burned brightly here in the heart of Africa. We were not the dark continent awaiting discovery. We were the scholars, the mathematicians, and the astronomers of our time. We were the intellectual bridge between the Islamic world and the Atlantic Atlas. And our Sankore University was as brilliant as any in Europe. The evidence. Unprecedented chronicles detailing the rise and the fall of the great Mali, the Songhai, I'm pronouncing this incorrectly, empires, showing Africa governance and political thought in intricate detail. The unity of faith and science. All wisdom is one. We did not separate the spiritual from the material. This is what I channeled to. Our faith was the foundation, but our curiosity was boundless. We calculated the movements of the stars, not just for prayer times, but for the navigation of knowledge. We saw the hand of God in the geometry of the universe and the healing properties of desert plants. The evidence, medical texts that detail cataracts, surgery, and herbal remedies side by side. I didn't channel this part. This is because this is all fucking one squirrel thing. The herbal remedies side by side with the astrological charts and detailed commentaries by an Islamic law. And then it's in parentheses FIQH with parentheses again. They show a holistic approach where science serves humanity and is interwoven with spirituality. So they were about it was like a duality, science and spirituality, which is very awesome that they connected the two because they need to be connected. Oh, I love it. Yeah. 3, the details of daily life. The human heart is timeless. All right, this is what I channeled. Also, anything I put in quotes, we wrote about kings and holy wars, but we also wrote about the most human of concerns, the price of salt, the proper way to conduct a divorce, and the moral status of new habits like smoking tobacco. Oh shit. The debates that concern you today, justice, fairness, and ethical living, concerned us centuries ago. So it's a cycle, you know. The evidence, letters, contracts, and legal opinions, which is the fatwas, which is in parentheses FATWAS. discussing property ownership, inheritance, money lending, and even debates among scholars about social behavior and etiquette. The Grand African Network. This is important. The world came to us. I put that in quotes. The world came to us. Our libraries are not just collections of local wisdom. They contain copies of works by Greek philosophers, Persian thinkers, and a lot and all. Why am I so nervous? Dolosan scholars. Knowledge flowed across the Sahara like the trade winds. Our city was a true melting pot, demonstrating that our civilization was globally connected, importing and improving upon the finest intellectual works of the era. The evidence manuscripts in multiple languages, Arabic, Saharan, Sundani, sometimes this is, I didn't channel this, even Hebrew glosses. They also found there are some scripts in Cunan form that are much more ancient that are tied to the Timbuktu scripts. In texts that references or translate works by figures like Plato, Hippocrates, he's like a medical beast, he's like a doctor. I'm not gonna, Avicenna, I don't know. I'll look all them up and explain that later, baby. In short, the Timbuktu manuscripts scripts would say, we were here, we were brilliant, and our knowledge is your legacy. Africa wrote its own history, and it is a true masterpiece. So, I thought that was really, really cool. And I wanted to tie that into because Tiamat and Ishtar are deeply rooted in not just Egyptian, it's way before that, but the African tribes and their beliefs. And they're the oldest souls, okay? Um, all right, so I'm going to read this really quick that, let me see if I can do it. So it's really odd. Okay, so just imagine this. There's Thoth and Mot, which is the feather of truth when they weigh the heart. All right, and I'm showing you how they go. So they were co-creators, right? So they're like the Holy Grail, kind of, if you think of it like that. I'm not going to get into that because I'd have to explain that. And all right, where is? I'm gonna have to like, I don't know. I'm so mad. I had all this together and then the stupid whatever wouldn't work. So, it's all good though. It's whatever. I should have just done Timbuktu because I can't find. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna have to like really. I might just not even. I don't know, guys. I'm really going through it with what's going on in my life. But I'll be all right. Because I had everything wrote down, things that I channeled, things that I really wanted to talk about, like how old their soul is, how you have to break down, and chaos is so important. You have to, it's every frequency. You have to evoke the frequency of Tiamat, the Mother Divine, the frequency of Ishtar, like their stages, okay? Nut, and understand all these beautiful beings, Lucifer, like all these beings, good, bad, dark, beautiful, they're all needed. We have to embrace it because we all are flawed. We have to embrace our dark side so that it can be transmuted from coal to this beautiful. I love black diamonds from the Amazon. I'm a weirdo. But if you know about diamonds and how they're alchemized, you take a coal from a volcano and it transmutes into a beautiful diamond in the rough, okay? And it's beautiful to me. I didn't go into Ishtar from Enoch and the Elish or whatever too much because I actually lost my notes. I had them, and then I've had a lot of issues with somebody doing something to my and I'm not like on anything. It's really happening, but I'm not gonna. When you try to do things that are good, there's always going to be energies that will try to um whatever. And what God is showing me is that I'm a fucking divine boss bitch, and I'm gonna continue to speak and be freely and be crazy and be me. And so probably won't even edit anything because I told you guys I'm not gonna edit shit. Um, but anyway, it's about evoking both within ourselves, the feminine and the masculine. It's about love is key. We have to see how do you want to bear your fruit? What substance? Like Osiris to me shows me, I envision things when I meditate now, and I really believe that it happens. Like I envision, of course, Yeshua's with me, and Krishna, and Sakti, Shiva, and all these beautiful beings. Mary Magdalene, Matthew, Mark, Simon Peter, like all these beautiful beings, right? Osiris, like he's a very ancient soul, like the father of the Ra. Um, and it's like he told me, like, you bring these beings that had died, remembering them, and I'll show you how to plant them and make them grow. And it was just really deep what I was channeling. Also from Ra and just all these amazing beings. I'm not reading that. I'm just speaking freely about just how beautiful, even set, the chaos, right? We get so mad and we think like, oh, Shiva. Well, Shiva danced. Crazy Shiva. Oh, dancing to create universes, to break us down, right? I had to get broke down to get up. Um, I just did, and it's a beautiful journey. It's really hard. It's not easy. It's simple, they say, but it's not easy. Um, and it's cool because I'm not Carol fucking Brady, okay? Obviously, look at me, baby, okay? I'm Kathleen Suzanne, and I love me today, and I'm my highest self, right? And I incorporate all the essences, all the beings, all these beautiful beings that were never, um, that are considered dark or whatever, or because of control. So I dance, and I challenge you to dance with balance and wisdom, with love. Be honest, be real. If you don't like something, fucking say it. If you don't, you know, but it's not what you do, it's how you do it. You know, live right with pure motives. Don't fucking, if you're married, don't cheat. Or if you want to fuck a bitch or fuck a dude or be a, say it. Or, don't abuse, don't use violence. It's simple things. Love does not have limits. But also, I love this quote: love is giving someone the power to destroy you, but trusting them not to. Loving yourself is having the power to walk away once that love has been destroyed. And sometimes when we're not respected and we're not loved, and this has happened in so many aspects of my life, and I've been on both sides, but I'm not a doormat. I'm no one's slave, and neither are you. We are all bosses. We are all kings and queens. We are all divine. And it's time we start acting like it and stop the bullshit. We can have fun and whatever, but the jealousy and competition and the idolatry and all this, that is not, this is supposed to be fun. Your life is supposed to be full of beautiful things and creating and co-creating, not being a judgy wudgy, man. Anyway, I'm gonna end this, and it's all fucked up. I didn't get to talk about anything really with Tiamat or Ishtar. It's all fucked up, but you know what? Everything happens for a reason. So, I'll be more prepared next time. This, I guess, was just a fucking check-in. So just, the Stolen Architect, we're continuing to reclaim it, okay? Alright? And, so we'll reclaim some more, alright, about them. I'm gonna go in more depth and detail, because I don't want to be on here all day, and it's probably boring, and I don't know if anybody listens anyway. But, alright, I love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye. I don't know how to, and I'm horrible at fucking, okay. That sounds like I'm horrible at fucking.